everybody. Hey, hey. So I am back in the office doing my thing. Really excited about today's conversation. We're going to be talking about how to choose the right social media platform. I have been on the vacay for spring break. Um, so I hope that last week's chatter did well for you all. I did my best. I tapped out. I think what was our last day? Wednesday. I tapped out at Wednesday. I couldn't get us live longer than Wednesday just because of some restrictions on video sizes and stuff like that. But I'm hoping that you were able to catch last week's lives because they were some past conversations that we had had in the past about how to create 12 weeks worth of content, how to get yourself together as far as creating content is concerned. So now today we are back with live conversations where we're going to start to go into that content creation process, but most importantly, focusing on you as the creator versus on trying to figure out um, how to, create the perfect content. So this week is all about you. It's all about making sure that you are prepared for the internet that is getting ready to be in front of you and knowing exactly how to create a strategy that's going to work for you. So today's conversation is going to dive deep into that. So now that I see that we are live everywhere, child, we be at all the places. I be trying to get myself together. Y'all gonna have to bear with me today. It's day one back. So I'm a little bit all over the place, just trying to make sure we caught up. But we're streaming live on YouTube. We're streaming live on Facebook. We are streaming live on TikTok, Instagram, all the places. I wish we could stream live on Threads, but that is what it is. But anyways, if you are on any of those platforms, be sure that you stop down in the comments, introduce yourself, tell me who you are, what type of business you run. Instagram, I do have a little bit of challenge seeing you guys as far as the live is concerned, just because of my current platform, but I am going to be working on putting some more devices in place so that I can see everybody's conversation and possibly going live a different way so that I can see what's coming through for everybody. But as you are hopping in, drop down who you are, where you're tuning in from, what type of business you run, and let's go ahead and hop into today's conversations. I got some notes. So if you see me looking over to the side, it's because my monitor is here and that's where my notes live. I'm going to follow my notes today because I don't want to get us off task. Like, I really want to be able to share this with you because I think it's important. When I first started creating content many, many years ago, there was this notion that I had to be everywhere. And many, many years ago, we didn't have that many options. It was just places like Facebook. When Periscope and Twitter came around, we were tweeting, doing all these things, trying to grow our Twitter accounts. And then Instagram came about, Pinterest, all those places. And it was a lot of pressure. I know many years ago when we didn't have as much going on. So I can only imagine what it feels like for you as a creator during these times if you're trying to figure out how to position yourself on the online market and where you should actually be and what's going to be the greatest benefit of your time. So one of the things that I really want you to understand is that, because I get asked this question a whole lot, like, hey, where should I be creating? Where should I be creating? And today, to help you answer that question, we're going to focus on you as the person and your personality so that you can use your personality to help you determine where you're going to be. Because the reality is this: your audience is everywhere. The people that you are looking to serve, the people that you are looking to bring into your community, they everywhere. They live on every single platform. Okay. There's not a platform that you cannot find somebody that is going to be a good fit for whatever products or services that you have to offer. The difference is that just because they are everywhere doesn't mean that you have to be everywhere, because while the audience is everywhere, each social platform has its own nuances, the way it works, the way that people create content, and how they like to consume content. And you have to be able, as the creator, to acquiesce to those nuances. And sometimes you don't have to. Like, you don't have to be everywhere. So today, as we start to talk, I want you to keep that in mind. Yes, my audience is everywhere. But I don't want you to be overwhelmed by the idea that you got to be. You cannot force yourself to thrive in an environment where you're not going to show up. And the greatest gift that you can give yourself when you start going into these online environments is being consistent and showing up on a regular basis and doing stuff that you can commit to so that you can guarantee that you're going to show up. Okay. So just because everybody is everywhere does not mean that you have to be, because the reality is that if you do not have the energy or the ability to create the type of content that that platform requires from you, then you're not going to succeed anyway. You're going to get defeated because the content's not going to be received by the audience that it's intended for, just because of the formatting and the content. And you will find yourself in a position where you feel defeated and want to give up because you can't find success. And that's because you've positioned yourself in a place where you really shouldn't be, if that makes sense. So let's talk about personalities and how each one of these platforms have a different personality, and how you can be introspective and figure out how your personality can fit into the personality of the platform that you're going to be going after. Does that sound good? Ones in the comments, hearts on the screens, if that sounds like something that you really want to hop into. Oh, I see y'all. Hey, y'all. All right. So I personally, if you have not noticed, if you've caught any of my content over the past couple of weeks since we have been going live, I personally love long form content. Like, I like to go live. I like to talk. I could talk for quite some time. Okay. So me personally, when I set my heart out for the internet, I went towards places like YouTube and platforms that would allow me to do that. So let's start with YouTube. Okay. Now I've been on YouTube now for a couple of years. I started YouTube when we were building this house, very documentary style, very long form style. And I started it because it was a place that I was going to get information, and I like to sit and be informed. So I realized that as I was documenting my process of my home buying journey, that YouTube would be perfect for that because it's long form, even though they're shorts. And we're going to talk about the difference in shorts and the long form. But there's long form videos where you can really sit and get down into like the nitty gritty. You can do some deep dives over on YouTube that are not necessarily received in a way that they could be received, say, on TikTok or Instagram, and it allows for a different type of storytelling. So YouTube is best for folks that are like me in the long form format, okay? Because YouTube has two formats, right? They've got long form and short form. We're talking long form right now. YouTube long form is best suited for folks that like to teach, that like to storytell. You want to build a library of content that you can come back to, that is kind of evergreen in nature. Like the content that I created 3 years ago when we were building this house, I still get lots of views. Like if you go back and look at those videos, we get tons of views. People are still asking questions. Like it is content that will live beyond like the time that it was created, because it was highly valuable. And I was able to really do some deep dives and explanations that I can't necessarily do on platforms like an Instagram Reel or a TikTok. Okay. This is going to work well for you from a long form perspective. If you enjoy being on camera, because you need to be on camera, like this is not a platform. Like I know there's some faceless YouTube channels. I don't know how to do that. From a realistic perspective, this is going to be great for you if you enjoy being on camera, you like to go into detail, and you like that idea of creating content that is always going to be valuable no matter when the timing is. You can do some trending stuff. You can be relevant as far as timeliness and stuff. And I'll give an example of what that looks like in just a second. But if you're really looking to build like a database that you can go back to and repurpose, like if you're a coach and there are concepts that just don't change, this is a place where you really want to go. Okay, so let me give you an example of how this would work in a couple of different scenarios, because this I have three different YouTube channels now. I have one for home interiors, I have one for gardening, and then now we're working on this one for the business content. So let's talk about the most successful first, and that's the home interiors account. So our home interiors account, we started on YouTube when we were documenting the process of building our new construction home. It was the first time we had ever built a new construction home, and there were two goals. The first goal was that I wanted to document the process so I would have something to go back and look towards. And then the second goal was to be able to help other people that were building my particular floor plan find some information relevant to their house. Because when I looked on the internet for information that was relevant to my specific floor plan, I couldn't find the information. So I was like, okay, well, as we are building this, let's be sure that we include the builder. It wasn't anything that we did in collaboration. This was just something, these were personal goals that we wanted to accomplish. Let's be sure that in every video we include the builder and the floor plan so that people that are looking for that home and that floor plan have some content that is going to be valuable to them as they build this house. And then let's also make sure that it's documented in a way where it includes the family, it includes me, because I want to be able to look back over this. This was our third home that we had purchased, the first one that we had built. I want to be able to look back and see the things that we did during this build, kind of as a note taking type deal for me. It's a semi-custom home. The next time we do a build, we will probably do a custom home, but I wanna learn from the things that we did and be able to keep record of the things that worked, the things that I liked, the things that I didn't like, and the process. So if in the future we decide to do this again, I kinda have a realistic timeline on how long things are gonna take, what I should be expecting at each phase of the journey. Now, little did I know that documenting that process was going to bring on a slew of people that were going through the same thing at the same time, a few steps behind me. And that content was going to be so beneficial for them. We met so many friends online, or I met, my husband is not really the online person, but I met so many friends online that were building their homes around the same time, due to close around the same time. And it was really a time where we were able to build community around the idea of building our home. Once we had the community built around the idea of building our home, the natural progression was then to go into how we were going to decorate it, how we were going to style it, bring our personality into it, how we were going to take it from this custom or this semi-custom build and really turn it into something that's more custom for our family. And that's what we've been doing ever since. And that really works on YouTube from a long form perspective because people get to sit. Like, I was in Vegas. Shout out to Jenny Diaz, okay, in Tampa, Florida. All right. Shout out to her. I don't know if she watches the business channel, but she's going to get a shout out on the design channel when we record this week. But I was in Vegas this past week at the casino with my husband. I'm chilling, sitting on, because I don't gamble, but he was at the roulette table and I'm just sitting on a chair, and it was another couple that came up. The husband was gambling. It was all of us. Like, the husbands were at the tables and the wives was kind of just falling back, like, when is this is going to be over? And it was so funny because the wife, I saw her looking at me and I offered her a seat. I was like, hey, do you want to sit down? Because my feet were on another chair. She's like, oh no, I'm fine. Um, so I saw her, do kind of like a double take a couple of times, and she finally got the courage to say, "You look like this YouTuber I follow online." And I was like, "Yeah, what's her name?" And she was like, "Kay Whitaker." I was like, "Hey, girl." And, so we go into this like there's so much nuance and so much community that can be built in that type of format, but you got to be the person that is willing to show up on a consistent basis, share, go into deep dives, and really be able to connect with your audience. Some of my best community building has happened over on YouTube, and it's not a two-way platform. Like, the only two-way conversation you can have is in the comments. And I think that's why it works so well, because there's not so many different places that you have to go in order to be able to communicate with your audience. You create a video, people drop down in the comments, they talk to you in the comments. And after they speak to you in the comments, you go back, you respond to those comments, you go back and forth. They stay tuned to your next video, and it just builds over time. If you like that, if that is something that you feel like you can do, then YouTube might be the way to go. Is it too late to start a YouTube channel? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I've started 3. I got my design channel. We went through that process, got it monetized. It took us about a year to do that. My garden channel, it took me 4 months of actively posting to get that channel monetized. And now we're on the business channel where the audience is growing. And now we're working on our view time and our watch hours to get that channel up to 1,000 subscribers and up to 4,000 watch hours to be monetized. I like YouTube because not only does it allow me to create the type of content, YouTube is a platform that will pay you for your views. Do they differ depending on what type of content you create? Yes, but it's nice to be able to create content that I enjoy doing, engage with the audience that I absolutely enjoy week over week, get paid to from the platform itself to create this type of content, and then have opportunities to work with other companies that I think, because I do a lot of vetting when I am presenting companies to my audience, work with other companies that I think would be good matches for my audience. Like it's a win-win all across the board, but it matches my personality, as you can tell. Okay. So if your personality kind of mirrors mine, then you might consider creating long form YouTube content. Uh, it does take a little bit of work. There are some cons to it. We'll talk about YouTube when we get to like our YouTube series, but just for putting in your back pocket, consider that as an option. Okay. Next up, Instagram, specifically Instagram as the platform, not as the content type. Instagram is a visual place. It is personal and community building. Like it's very aesthetic, right? Instagram is probably the bougiest of the platforms that you're going to find. Okay. And when I say bougie, it is because like we went from pictures having to be like highly curated, really styled. And if that's your lifestyle, you can do that. For a little while, that was my lifestyle. Like I was all in because that I was doing those things. But that's okay, right? But if you enjoy that, if you enjoy the aesthetic look, then Instagram might be the place for you to go. Now, Instagram, one of the pros to working on Instagram is that you do have different ways that you can create. So, like, I love Instagram because I create with my audience that finds me from other platforms in my Instagram stories. It is very natural, a very raw way to communicate with my audience, and I am able to go back and forth in conversations in DMs where we can have private conversations. I don't mind that. It's okay for me. But if that's not your personality, then maybe you don't spend a lot of your time on Instagram stories. But if you like to create visually appealing content by way of videos, short form videos, imagery, Instagram may be the place for you. Also, if you like to engage quickly, like if you like to post a piece of content and then engage with the people that are engaging with you right away, Instagram might be a place where you could go because one of the things about Instagram is that within that hour, as people start to comment, you want to be present and actually be a part of that conversation. That's how the algorithm knows that you're there, all that good stuff. There's so many nuances to the way that it works, but the primary deal is understanding that you're not going to just show up on Instagram, right? Instagram and TikTok, two different places, right? TikTok, I feel like we're a little bit more unhinged. Like we can just show up however we are and just be who we are. Not to say that that's not what you're getting on Instagram. It's just a little bit more curated. And if you like a curated look, then Instagram is going to be your place to go. Now, once you get to Instagram, you're going to have to decide what type of content that you want to create. And you're going to have to create the type of content that Instagram wants. And there's a lot of pieces of content that can be created. You got stories, you got carousel posts, you got single imageries, you got Instagram reels, short reels, long reels. Like there is so much to consider. If you're willing to do the research and you're like, oh, I kind of like that idea, then you commit to Instagram and then you go all out, like we talked about in last week's video, and really figure out what it takes to be successful on Instagram and put those tactics to work. Okay. Instagram works really well if you like, again, a curated look, you like photography, you enjoy putting together produced reels and interacting with comments and DMs. There is a part of Instagram that is a little bit more comedic and entertaining, but I think the difference, kind of doing my research on both Instagram, being an Instagram creator, and then coming over to TikTok and kind of struggling a little bit, it's because Instagram, the curation is there, and on TikTok, it's just more you just show up, right? You don't have to do as much. And I think a part of some of the things that I've even struggled with as we go into like TikTok is that I'm a slow paced, like I am a very chill kind of content creator. I don't do the like get ready with me's and stuff like that. I don't do that. I am a very this is what I'm doing today. I'm out in the garden. Like it's very chill. Whereas on TikTok, I've noticed that things are a lot more fast paced. The virality is there because things are on a higher energy level, and that ain't my energy level. Not, I just, honesty, right? And you got to know that about yourself. And I think Instagram lends itself to me a little bit better because I can chill out a little bit more, like the soft, quiet luxury. Not to say that it's not present on TikTok. I think it is. I think the way it's formatted is just different for like the hooks and stuff. Like I can't get into all of that. And it's hard for me because my energy level is not naturally there. I know me being here live, I talk and we kind of have banter here, but my energy level is kind of like boom, boom, more laid back, more kind of reserved. Whereas on TikTok, it's a little bit more fast paced. You kind of more in your face. At least that's my observation. I think TikTok is also very good for educational, but you can be a little bit more brash. And the reservation in me, it ain't got nothing to do with TikTok because I enjoy TikTok. And from a consumer standpoint, I think me as a creator, because I am a little bit more reserved. I don't want to use the word uptight because I'm not uptight, but I'll be like, ooh, that's good for them, but I ain't gonna do that. I'm not willing to do that yet. I think that is where I struggle. But it is, if you have a personality that is quick, is high paced, you can engage in content that captures the attention fast. You can get to the point real quick. Like if you are ready to be like in your face and stuff like that. And when I say in your face, I'm like, hey, like you can grab somebody's attention real quick, kind of comedic on that. I don't find myself to be very comedic, but if you have like if you can lean into the comedic part of it where that part of your personality comes out, I think TikTok is a great place for you. Just like any other form cuz I can kind of put short form video as it relates to Instagram, TikTok and YouTube Shorts kind of all in a bucket from that form video. With TikTok, there's trends that come and go. If you can hop on those quickly, you're gonna do well. If you enjoy the idea of hopping on those quickly, you can do well. If you like to engage quickly, like I enjoy the conversations when I do create content for my TikTok profile and people engage and have conversations. The conversations are good. I don't do much as far as DMs are concerned on TikTok. I'm very rarely in there for my DMs, those are mostly for like family and my friends where we see something funny and we're sharing it with each other. I don't really use it from the business perspective, but if you're comfortable in an environment where you can grab that phone quickly and hop on a trend and have an angle and have a point that makes sense to the audience that you've built, then that's going to work great for you. If you are an affiliate marketing, you've got products like when I do share products on TikTok, they do really, really well because people are here for information. They're looking for recommendations and they do shop. Okay. I'm not even a TikTok shop affiliate. I have to link outside of TikTok and the traffic is there. Okay. If that's something that you think you can get with, then you learn everything that you need to learn about TikTok and put your energy into there and call it a day. Okay. LinkedIn, for those of us that are a little bit more professional, looking for thought leadership, really trying to stand out in an industry. It works well for me when I'm there from a business to business perspective. Like I use LinkedIn when I am doing lead generation. When people are looking for me to help them from a service perspective, our marketing firm does really, really well on LinkedIn. When we create content like this and then we reshare the short form versions of it on LinkedIn, they do really, really well. Um, just because we have something to educate about. Like we can talk, we can organize those thoughts, we can help people get from point A to point B. We can demonstrate our expertise on LinkedIn. And if that is something that you can do, like if that matches your industry, service providers, really, really good place for you, especially if you are business to business. I absolutely love LinkedIn for those reasons. If you like writing, if you like networking, LinkedIn, the way that I've used LinkedIn in the past, especially when I was out and about going to like events and stuff, I would always go and find a list of people that I wanted to connect with that I knew was going to be at the event. And I would connect with them on LinkedIn first. And I would start conversations with them there, letting them know that we were going to be in a similar environment. and that I would love to meet them, kind of do the soft introduction online on LinkedIn. That way, when I got in person, because I am an introvert, believe it or not, I am a very introverted person. That way, when I got there in person, it was a much easier conversation to have with them. And it was easier to network and make the connections that I really wanted to make that were going to be beneficial for my business. And that still works for me today. Like the internet is so much more than just creation. Yes, you want to create so that people know that you're a real person, but on LinkedIn, it is educating, demonstrating an idea, and finding other like minded people that believe in the same thing that you believe in, that you can establish real relationships with to help both of you all move forward. So it's got to be something that is collaborative, that you are willing to be there to be in community from a oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Like it's reciprocal is what I guess I'm looking for. And if you can be that type of person and be intentional about the way you go and find people and introduce yourself to people and create genuine relationships, those relationships carry over into other parts of your business. There's a many deals that I've closed because I was able to find the person or the type of person that I was looking for and just be genuine, not starting a conversation looking for anything at first, just starting a conversation to get to know people. And for me, it's a lot easier for me to start those conversations on the internet so that when I get in person with people, it's not awkward, it's not odd, it doesn't make me feel away because we've had some chit chat and some banter online. I was able to connect with them in a professional setting. So when I got to them in person, it was easy peasy. We were able to do our thing and we went on. So if you're like me, and you're kind of introverted, but you have a service to offer to another business and you know exactly who your person is, and it's easier for you to make those initial connections on the internet. And you know that there's going to be some type of in person interaction. I would say go over to LinkedIn, post some short videos, at least once or twice a week and engage a lot with your community. Find people that are going to be either beneficial, that would have some benefit from you. Go be a part of community conversations and groups and stuff like that. Write articles. Really establish yourself as a thought leader. When you establish yourself as a thought leader, people naturally want to be in your space, and LinkedIn is a great place to make that happen. Next one that I really enjoy, if you are like the person like in this platform be like minding her own business. Okay. If unbothered and in my lane was a person, it would be Pinterest. Okay. Pinterest is the most unproblematic social platform you are going to find. And it's primarily because it ain't community driven. Okay. Pinterest is for search optimization. All right. We use Pinterest as bloggers, as vloggers, as content creators to be found. Okay. One of the things that I absolutely love about Pinterest, and I almost felt like I was going to gatekeep this. I was like, nope, I'm not going to do that. That is the whole purpose of us being live on the internet because everybody and their mama going to go to Pinterest. When you have content that you want to be found over a long period of time, you need to be repurposing that content on Pinterest. Any Instagram post that you've posted that's like an outfit, that is skincare recommendations, that is anything really, should have a place on Pinterest because Pinterest is a search platform. It's not there for you to build your social audience. It's like that back pocket tool that you didn't know you needed until it starts sending traffic. So here's what I love about Pinterest. Before, when we were using Pinterest, we were sending traffic to our websites, but that doesn't have to be the case anymore. You can literally send traffic from Pinterest anywhere you want it to be, as long as you are strategic in how you are going to capture people's information when they leave Pinterest. So, one of the things that I like about Pinterest is that it's heavy in search, and Pinterest makes it easy to be found. When you are writing your descriptions or your Pinterest titles or categorizing your content, Pinterest is a very easy place to go and find that information. Like you can literally do it all on Pinterest and be just fine. Okay. Do you need a lot of pins? That's debatable, right? But the idea here is that, let's say, like our laundry room is about to be done, and we want design clients that are specifically looking for places to be redesigned in their home for like organizational spaces. So, like pantries, offices, laundry rooms, stuff like that. That's kind of where our sweet spot on the inside of the house lands. So I know when I finish working through this laundry room and when I take photos of this laundry room, that I have an opportunity, a unique opportunity with each one of those photos to be able to make that photo be found and sent to a place where I want people to be able to take me up on my design services. So if I'm using Pinterest in that way, I know that when I was building out my my laundry room, I went and did Pinterest searches for laundry room design, and I took notes of hashtags that were being used, keywords that were coming up, search terms that were being put into the actual search bar. And I did this all on the internet, all on the, not on the internet, on my computer, not on my phone. And I took note of that so that when I got ready to publish my content, because it's evergreen, it is something that people are always going to be looking to design their bedrooms, design their offices, design their laundry rooms. And if I have enough photos, enough videos of the space, then I know that I can use these keywords. And when someone clicks on this pin and wants to learn more, I can put a portfolio up on my website that also includes an opportunity for somebody to sign up and have a discovery call with me to learn about how we can help, or offer a guide on how to plan your next laundry room rental, or something where when people get there, I have an opportunity to collect their email address, because email is something that you should be striving for on any of these platforms. Emails and sales is something that you should absolutely be striving for. And Pinterest helps you get that done because it is searchable, it is search engine friendly. And when done correctly, if you put your funnel in place correctly, you can gather leads and then nurture those leads and encourage those leads to follow you in other places, to purchase things from you. Like, I've had a lot of success on Pinterest with affiliate marketing, where we take a picture of something that is in our home and use our affiliate link to link directly back to the product that we use and people purchase, because it's not about us on Pinterest. It's about the user that's searching. And if you learn that, because people ain't there like, oh, I'm following Kay on Pinterest. It's not the same. It's, oh, I'm looking for a pair of jeans, a pair of boyfriend jeans that fit a size 16 woman that are going to be stretchable and high rise. They're looking for stuff like that. And if you're the creator that can create and offer that and know where to link back to, then you will find great success on Pinterest. And what I have noticed, if you have a website, a blog, if you do well on Pinterest, your blog will also do well, because it's something about Pinterest and Google, the way they work together. Pinterest is not a part of Google. And this is just me looking at data and analytics. It is something about the two of those platforms working together that do amazing. Amazing. So if you want to blog, or if you want to use affiliate marketing in a formal way that you would do it on TikTok without the community, then Pinterest is going to be your way. Okay. Finally, let's talk about threads. I am not a threader for these reasons. Okay. Quick thoughts, I ain't got them. I ain't got them. We've been here for 34 minutes talking about what type of social media platform you should choose. Okay. I like to talk. I can't get it out quick. That's just not my gift. Okay. And I know that about myself. I do like threads for information. I go and I participate in other people's conversations, but I am not a threader. I'm not a micro blogger. I'm not somebody that can get my thoughts out real quick. It doesn't work for me. So I choose not to pursue an audience on threads, because it almost feels the same way that Twitter felt for me, where it could be really great for those folks that can get those conversations out quick like that, but it's just not me. I don't like writing. I don't really like sharing opinions. And I enjoy the building conversations through other folks' conversations, but I find it overwhelming if I were to have like a thread go viral and there was a lot of people. Like, I've went viral in places like Facebook and Instagram, and the amount of comments that you have to respond to, I quickly get overwhelmed. So I am even an online introvert. Okay. So it doesn't work for me. But I know that about me. But for you, if you are somebody that likes to write, you have quick thoughts that you can get out, you're kind of witty, you can share in thought leadership, then it might be great for you. Microblogging is still a thing. Threads have proven that this is still something that people are really, really, really interested in. Conversations, I think, especially now where people are looking to build relationships through conversations, are really good. You know, I think it's worth a shot if you like it. For me, it's not something that I personally pursue, but I never discourage anyone from going after anything that they think their personalities will match with, because the idea here is understanding the platform, what it has to offer, how you can create, understanding how your personality works and what you are willing to do, and then positioning yourself on that platform, learning the ins and outs and the special nuances that that platform has to offer, and then going after it. It's as simple as that. Like I said in the beginning of today's conversation, your audience is everywhere. They're everywhere. Everywhere, okay? They're on all these platforms. YouTube, they're there. Facebook, they're there still. Yes, they are still on Facebook. Threads, they're there. Instagram, they're there. TikTok, they're there. Pinterest, they're there. Everybody is everywhere, okay? The way we use those platforms might vary, which is why you have to understand the user experience on the platform. And you have to understand your personality as it relates to what that platform is going to require. And then say, okay, whether or not you're willing to do it. And once you've decided, yeah, I think I can commit to this, then you go and learn the nuances specific to that platform that are going to help you be successful. Okay. So as you are kind of thinking through how to choose the best platform for you, I want you to ask yourself these questions. Question number one: do I enjoy creating content for this platform? If not, you won't remain consistent. Okay. Will I enjoy trending stuff? Will I enjoy when a trend comes up knowing that I need to create content for it within a couple of days or I'm going to miss the trend? Will I enjoy having to create in a way that is going to immediately catch the viewer's attention? Because hooks are different depending on the platform. Will I enjoy having to respond to comments and DMs? Or do I just want to be able to communicate in one place? Can I um and this kind of leads into the next question that you want to ask yourself, like, does this format play to my strengths? Are you a writer? Are you a talker? Do you like to create visually? All of these things matter. Okay? All of these things matter. And what's really going to be important, because everybody's goal is to go viral and to grow big fast. The reality for most of us is that's not how that works. Okay? It took me a year to monetize my home decor channel. It took me a few months to monetize my garden channel, mostly because I knew better from what I was doing on the home decor channel. I knew how to do things better on my garden channel. I had learned, but most of y'all ain't gonna have 3 channels, right? This YouTube channel is growing every day. Like we left after spring break, and I wanna say 40 something subscribers. We're up to 185. Like, it's growing. Things take time, right? Things take time, and you need to ask yourself, can I see myself using this platform long term? Am I willing to be here for the long haul? And then finally, does this align with my business goals? Um, and can I choose one to start so I'm not spreading myself too thin? Let's start with one. And then after I get one under my belt, what's going to be my next plan of action? Because I do honestly feel like, even though I don't think you should be on all platforms everywhere, if you can't do it successfully, I do feel like you need more than one. Okay. You're going to have to be in more than one spot. But if you're just getting started, pick one and get really, really good at it. And when you get really, really good at it, what you will find is that that audience will follow you somewhere else. Okay. They will find you in the platforms that they're on, and you will naturally start to have audience in other places. So I'll give you an example what that looks like. Instagram, TikTok. Most people that and it's not true to all folks, but a lot of times people will be able to grow those channels like at the same time. I'm not going to use big words, at the same time, because most folks that are on TikTok are also consuming content on Instagram. And if they like you on TikTok, more than likely, if you pop up on their Instagram, I don't know how it works for you, but if I see something on TikTok that I engage with, I see it on Instagram. So you're gonna pop up over there. They'll follow you. Be like, oh, they're here too. Now the key is create something different in each one of those places. A lot of times we're creating the same thing, which could work too. I don't know. But we could talk about how to do that later. But the main idea here is picking one, getting good at it so that you can use the leverage from that one platform to grow your other platform. Okay. Repurpose your content. Repurpose your content. I'm going live on all of these platforms because there is a tool that helps me go live on all of these platforms. When I get finished going live, I load this content up into a different software where it chops it up for me, and then I can create short videos in the appropriate platforms to share in other places. It's all about creating once and then using it again and again. Okay. So here's your final thoughts for today. All right. Final thoughts for today. Your audience is everywhere, but you don't got to be. It's not for you. All right. You need to be where you're going to shine. Okay. The best platform to choose is the one you can enjoy. You can create what they want you to create, and you can be consistent. Okay. Quality and consistency is going to be your best friend. All right. Don't force yourself into a platform just because somebody else is there and they told you you should be there. If it does not fit your personality, it don't waste your time. And don't feel bad about not wasting your time. Do what works for your strengths. All right. We got to play into your strengths. If you love storytelling, go to YouTube. If you like being on camera and you can talk for a little while, go to YouTube. Okay. If you want it quick, down and dirty, consider TikTok or Instagram. Right. And always make sure that when you're there, and we'll talk about formatting your content, that you're leaving people with something to do for you. Right. It's one thing, a lot of times when I'm talking to creators, and they're not seeing the success that they want from their content, is because they hadn't told people what to do. They hadn't told people what the next steps are after consuming this content, right? They have assumed that people know what to do. And yes, most people will, like, you don't have to beg for a like and a subscription and stuff like that. I don't think those things are necessary. I think you can mention it. Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. But I don't think it's something that has to be a part of the everyday conversation, because folks are just, they naturally like stuff that they like. But likes and subscriptions don't pay bills. Okay. When you want somebody to pay a bill, when you want the content that you have created to transform into something that is going to be uh, monetarily beneficial for you, you got to tell them what that looks like. You got to tell them what you need. Nobody's going to do what you don't tell them to do. Right. So I'll give you an example of what that looks like. Okay. And then we're going to close. So I have a program called the K Club. I pitch it at the end of each and every one of these videos, right? When I want you to go further with me in conversations and coaching, I tell you, you can join the K Club. As a matter of fact, you can join the K Club. I cannot find my K Club stuff. Oh, no, it's not there. You can join the K Club. You can join it at $7 a month when you use the code March25 at the end. And that offer expires at the end of March. Hold on, I'm going to go get the link for you. I know that if I don't tell you that, why would I expect the K Club to grow? Why would I expect enrollments in this program to grow if I haven't told you what to do? That doesn't make sense, right? So how are you supposed to know that you can join me in this private coaching program if I ain't told you? It's the same thing for your people. How are they supposed to know that they can join you in this program or take the next steps with you if you haven't told them what to do? It is impractical and unrealistic to assume that people are going to know what next steps they should be taking with you if you haven't instructed them on what to do. So tell them what to do. If you want them to join your email list, tell them that you want them to join your email list. If you want them to leave a comment, tell them that you want them to leave a comment. Like, tell folks what you need from them to do so that you can accomplish your goals. Without saying, hey, join me here, there is no way for folks to know. Without saying, hey, I have this available to you, there's no way for folks to know. So if you're not seeing the type of success that you want to see from any of these platforms, maybe you're like, hey, all of that's great. I've chosen a platform that I enjoy working on. I am here, but it is still not, I'm still not achieving what I want to achieve from the platform. At that point, it's not a platform problem. It's not a matter of, am I supposed to be here? At that point, you have to say, okay, well, what's the structure of your content? When are you telling people to take the next steps with you? And are you telling people to take the next steps with you? And are those steps the steps that they need to take in order for you to accomplish your business goals? If the answer to any of that is no, then it's a content structure problem. And then we have to reevaluate what your content looks like and get you into position where you can actually position your content in a way where folks are going to be able to take advantage of it. That's the deal, right? Choose where you want to be based on how you're going to operate in that platform. Make sure it is something that matches your personality that you can show up on a regular basis and be consistent with. And then once you're there, make sure that you give people plenty of opportunities to take the next step in your business with you. And that is how you will see success. All right. So today we talked about which social media platform you should choose. Now that you understand that, I am going to spend some time going into in future lives into the platforms that work for me. Okay. I'm a YouTube creator. I absolutely love YouTube. We will probably start there. I love email marketing. We will absolutely start there. One of the things that I did last week, and y'all can tell me how y'all like that, is I think Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday we'll talk content, right? We'll talk about platforms, how to create your content, what tools you need, stuff like that. But on Wednesdays, we'll talk about automation because we got to do both. Like all of this stuff that we're doing on the front end, if it's great for showing up on the internet but not turning into anything, it's because we don't have that Wednesday piece in place. So Wednesdays are going to be our time where we talk about automation and how to structure your funnels and make sure that the efforts that you're putting forth Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday are actually going to turn into in your bank account. So I like that. I enjoyed that. That allows me to do the creative stuff Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And on Wednesdays, talk about that techie stuff that, I get bored talking about, but I enjoy doing. All right. And I think that's going to be the structure of our lives going forward. Be sure that you have your notifications turned on. I am back from vacation, so I can do a lot better about emailing and stuff like that. Now that we're back, you're going to see all of this stuff being repurposed and stuff like that. You'll see a lot more of me. I didn't want to start something before vacation that I couldn't commit to, couldn't remain consistent on. But now that we're back, we can do that. And these things will start to grow and amplify a lot more. It is 10 to the hour. I have actually got to get off of here so I can get some coffee in. I've got some calls set up and get caught up for my after vacation stuff. K Club, I will be checking in with y'all later today. One on ones, I have seen your teamwork stuff come through. I will be answering that as soon as we hop off to let you know I've got it so I can get it assigned out to the team so that they can start working on it. And we will be back here tomorrow, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, talking more content creation and how to strengthen your online presence. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you back here tomorrow.